at the Copacabana.
It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.
Team, welcome back to the Pesto Pod. I have had myself a week. I feel drained and also blessed. Let me tell you all about it. My mom visited me this week, which was so fun because I love my mom. And the reason she came to visit me was because this freaking woman got herself Barry Manilow tickets. Barry Manilow is doing like a 5-night residency at Radio City. Barry fucking Manilow. Listen, I know one song by Barry Manilow, and it's Copacabana, obviously. And I also know I write the songs that make the whole world sing. You know that one? Actually, it's the only other song that sounded vaguely familiar to me. But my mom loves Barry Manilow, and she wanted to go see him, and she bought herself a ticket. She bought me a ticket. Very kind of her. And she kept apologizing to me beforehand. Was like, Jules, I'm so sorry. Like, this is not going to be fun for you. I'm sorry for making you go to this. And I was like, Mom, free concert for me. And, you know, like, good vibes. It'll be an experience. I'm happy to spend time with you. I'm excited for Barry. No worries. We go. The people watching at the Barry Manilow concert was better than Barry Manilow himself. The people watching was insane. I believe the essence of the crowd was like New Jersey and Long Island middle-aged women who, like, this was their big night out. And so they, like, went to dinner and got cocktails with the girls before and then came to Radio City for Barry Manilow. I was the youngest in this crowd by maybe 30 years. Everyone else, that was the energy. There were a couple, like, husbands that had been dragged there, a couple of gay men. But for the most part, it was like New Jersey momcore. Teased hair, like dark lipstick, dark eyeliner, tanned, wrinkled skin, loud personalities, sequin tops. It was a lot, and I loved it. I felt very at home. I felt very loved. I was like, I'd love to see a man come up and, like, touch my butt with all these women around. They'd be like, get your hands off of her! And I would love it. My non-existent butt. No one's ever tried to touch my butt. That is not an invitation to touch my butt, though. Imagine like a room full of Teresa Caputos with a cocktail in them. Crazy. And then Barry Manilow came out. Barry Manilow is 81 years old. And the show reflected that. He's an old man. He comes out in his little, like, sequin suit jacket, and he's like, hi everyone. Everyone's losing it. This poor old man, he has no idea what year it is. He's like just waiting to, like, you know, take his back pills. He needs to take them with food. It was truly something, but he held his own for an 81-year-old guy. He sang all his little songs, and he was a weird guy, like socially awkward. Barry, he was I don't know, kind of like a robot. He moved like a robot creature. And at one point he had like dancers behind him. And at one point it was like definitely like building up to a dance break. And he was like, are you ready? 2, 3, 4. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. It was like crazy. It was a little shuffle. It was so cute. Oh, it was so silly. And he kept like cracking little jokes. He was like, you know me, I'm a sex god. Everyone was like, woo! Barry. What a guy. I enjoyed it. It makes me really want there to be, is there some sort of like character in some cartoon or spoof or something that is a manatee in a sequin jacket whose name is Barry Manatee? Is that a thing? And if not, can it be? Because that would be good for me. That would scratch an itch. Maybe I'll like craft him. I'm trying to get into crafts. I'm trying to get into arts and crafts. Maybe I'll like build him out of clay. Barry Manatee. That really needs to happen. I've been really into watching crafting videos. Specifically, I have been fucking obsessed with Lenzo. Do you guys know Lenzo, better known as the Dandelion Crayon Girl? Oh, wow, I love her. I binged all of her videos on Sunday because I was recovering from... You know what? Let me tell you about my week first, and then I will dive in headfirst to the beauty of Lenzo. The day after the Barry Manilow concert, crazy fucking thing to say, I was invited to go back to Fordham, which was my alma mater, to speak at a Women's Network, like, women in comedy panel thing. That was very cool. Really appreciated that. It was fun. They asked me little questions, and they were like, what is your advice post-grad? And I was like, I don't know, but if anyone hears any good advice, please pass it on to me. I could use it. But it was really, like, sweet that I was invited. I felt cool. The next day, this is when it all went crazy. Friday, I spent the day with my bro, my twin flame, Connor Willie, one of the most hilarious people in the world. And by the way, if you don't know, now you know. Connor Willie and I have a touring live show. Please go to the link in my Instagram bio to see where we're going next, to tell us where you want us to go next, and to see if there are any links to shows near you, perhaps, so you could come and hang out with us in real life. But spent the day with Connor, and then I took the train Friday night to Long Island. Long fucking story. Basically, I have a good friend from college whose grandfather had just passed away, and we decided to go to the funeral to show some support. Now, they live up in Connecticut, but I was going with my friend who's in Long Island right now, so we decided I would go to her in Long Island, and then we'd get up the next day and make the journey together. So that's what we did. I spent the night in Long Island. I watched Up, fucking cried my eyes out. Wow, what a heartwarming film. Then we get up the next morning at the butt crack of dawn, 4:30 in the morning maybe, because the ferry we need leaves at like just before 6 a.m. So we get up butt fucking early, get ready, we get to the Long Island ferry. Hey, the Long Island ferry was the worst experience of my entire life. Tell me why I had to rise at the butt crack of dawn to get on this oscillating death raft. Oh, I hated it. I'm a motion sickness girly. I've said this my whole life. But you know what's weird is I grew up on boats. Like, I own a boat. But that boat, a little boat doesn't bother me. But a big boat that is just like rocking, it does not sit well with me, and it makes me upchuck violently. And this was the case. The sea was angry that day, my friends. The Long Island Sound was just having a dance party, and I was praying, meditating. I had to cut a Dramamine in half and take a Dramamine, and I had to, we had to open the windows in the car. This is another thing. You stay in your car. Bizarre dvark. We stayed in the car, but I was like, I need airflow. So we lowered the windows down. It's fucking freezing. So poor Emily is sitting there shivering, and I'm like, trying to spiritually leave my body so that I can survive this treacherous trek. Oh, it was terrible. I hated it. I have beef with the Long Island Ferry. I will never be riding her again. Peace and love. So we made that journey, and then finally, we got to Connecticut. First thing we did was go to Dunkin', because that morning when we had woken up, we were like, oh, we need coffee, and we wanted to go to the Dunkin' in Long Island, but it wasn't open yet. And thank God the Dunkin' was not open, because if I had a fucking chai latte in my duodenum when I boarded that oscillating raft of death on the Long Island Sound, I would have gagged. I would have upchucked to the nth degree. So thank God that was a sign from the Lord that Dunkin' was not open. Good thing. Then we went to the funeral. I've actually never really been. I've only ever been to a funeral, mass service. I'd never been to a wake. So I was a little nervous because, I don't know how to interact with people after a family tragedy. But luckily, my friend's family is very sweet and very welcoming, and it was an overall positive experience. Very beautiful service. slay. Then it only gets crazier. Then I went back from Connecticut to New York City. It was probably like a 3-hour trip. And I had to hustle because that night I got invited to the season 2 premiere of The Last of Us. So I got into New York City probably at like 5 p.m. I had to race to my apartment, like throw on a full fucking look. I had to shower, dry my hair, curl my hair, full beat, put on a sexy little dress, and then haul my ass to Brooklyn to get to the 8 p.m. premiere of The Last of Us. And it was a good time. I really enjoy HBO events because they do not play around with the past hors d'oeuvres. And God knows I love a past hors d'oeuvre. I think I had a Caesar salad bite, what did I have? Caesar salad bite, falafel, and a little mini lobster roll. I ain't complaining one bit. I did tell that there was a short rib crostini being passed around. I never saw it. So HBO, you owe me meat. The season 2 premiere was really good. I have never seen season 1 of The Last of Us. I'm not really into like post-apocalyptic shows, but I liked what I saw, especially Catherine O'Hara. So a win in my book. And then the episode ended and I was like, holy, like I had been awake at this point for almost like a full day because I had woken up that morning at like fucking 4:30 to get the ferry. The event ended like at midnight, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can taste sound. Like I've never been so tired in my entire life. And I had 3 glasses of wine at the event, which will do me in. That'll do me right in. So I Ubered home, because I have a Lyft code, by the way. I certainly would never take a car unless it was free because I gag so often. I'm a train girl through and through. But because they provided me with a car code, I use that. Of course, a fucking Tesla comes to pick me up. Oh, Maron. If you don't know this, Teslas are like the fucking worst for motion sickness. I don't know why. With all of his like, big fat brain power, Elon Musk, he's such a genius. He can't make a car that doesn't make me want to fucking spew. I don't know. But I had to like sit in the middle. I had to put my AirPods in and I had to go on Spotify and play my anti-nausea frequencies so that I could once again meditate the car ride home and not throw up. So let's just recap. I've meditated more in those 24 hours than I think I ever had in my entire life. And it was all in the course of one day and I was wide awake the whole entire time. Jarring. So then I fucking finally get home. I flop in my bed. I take my dress off, but I'm just in my bra and underwear and a full face of makeup, and I went to sleep. And I slept for like 12 hours. It was one of the best nights sleep I've ever had in my entire life. And when I woke up on Sunday, I said, like, I'm not going to do a goddamn thing today. I am going to rot. I wanted it. I wanted to stay in my bed. I wanted to have the Sunday scaries like the good Lord intended. I wanted to decompose. And that's exactly what I did. And that was my week. Busy week, right? And in that like rot day on Sunday is when I laid in my bed and I went through every single Lenzo video that she's ever posted on TikTok. Let me tell you about Lenzo. This girl, she's like the quirkiest little like joyful little weird girl I've ever seen. Love her. She collects dandelion colored crayons. Apparently, this was her favorite when she was a child, and it was discontinued in 2017. So now it's like a rarity, you know? You can't find it in any modern crayon packs. So this girl, like, whenever she would go to a thrift store or whatever, she'd buy like vintage crayons to see if they had dandelion, and she enjoyed the hunt. And then she posted about it on TikTok and everyone was loving it. And then she opened a PO box at one point and people were sending her dandelion crayons, and she had like a little shrine in her room because she's like super quirky and cool. She's got like all these little trinkets, and she had a little shrine in her room to the dandelion crayon, and people started sending her so many that she had to close her PO box. She has over 500 dandelion crayons in her collection. And she had to expand the shrine, obvi. She has a whole wall in her room that is just like dedicated to dandelion crayons. And it's not just the crayon itself. She like makes little crafts. She anytime like any Crayola releases any sort of like branded like I don't know, playing cards or fucking coloring books, whatever. She will find them that are like dandelion themed and she'll buy them, and they take up the whole wall. And she's got like a giant crayon. It's so fun. It's so fun. I wish I had something that fun, you know? I wish I had something that like an object that I resonated with as much as Lenzo resonates with dandelion crayons. And I don't want to hear that I say crayon weird. I for some reason, neither of the versions of the word crayon sit well with me. I don't like crayon, and I also don't like crayon. So for some reason, I kind of say it in the middle. I don't want to fucking hear it. And if any of you comment that I say crayon with a crispy R, a crispy cracker, I'm going to fucking lose it. Because I don't want to hear it. I'm from Rochester, New York, and I've tried to do all I can do to correct my fuck-ass accent. So sorry that I say crayon. But, yes, she collects the crayon. And then here's what I love. Crayola launched a limited edition like retired colors pack of crayons. And dandelions in it. So this girl single-handedly fucking brought back the dandelion crayon. Incredible. They threw like a party, like a brand event, Crayola did, to celebrate the relaunch of dandelion. And thank God Crayola paid to fly her out. She lives, I think, in like a little town in Kentucky or something, like very Midwest core. They flew her out. She had never been to New York City. She'd never been on a plane. They flew her to New York, put her in a hotel, and she got to attend this crayon event. She got to cut the like fucking ribbon welcoming back dandelion, and she got like a plaque that says like Dandelion's #1 fan. This girl, this like teenage girl from Kentucky. I love that. I love it. Like those are the people to me that should be influencers. People that have this like strange talent or gift or hobby in this case, or quirk, I suppose, and are just like genuinely very, very passionate about it, that it spreads to other people. And like I love that she has a following for something that is so bizarre. I love it. And she's so joyful. And she makes me want to collect something. She really, really does. Like I have a blank wall in my room, and I'm like, what am I going to fucking fill it with? And I have some ideas, but let me finish. They fly this girl out. I fucking love her. She gets all these dandelion like merch things. Just so grateful. And that is what a brand, like, I'm so glad a brand is spending money to take her. Like, if anyone is deserving of a brand trip, it's her, you know? Oh, Lenzo, I love you. I'm so mad that I wasn't like this into her literally like 3 weeks ago when she was here for the Crayola thing, because I would have reached out to her and been like, let's hang out. Because I just want to hear her. I want to go to a thrift store with her and watch her work her magic. Truly. She really needs to go. Lenzo, next time you're in New York City, I don't know if you did this, but you need to like go to like the Brooklyn Flea or something. Some flea market, some art show. And I need you to, because in New York City, there are literally like, sometimes I go to the market, I go to the Grand Bazaar or like the market on a Union Square, and there are whole booths like dedicated to junk, but like junk in a respectful way. Like it's just like little things. And I love it. I love little guys. Little guys. It's kind of funny. My mom is kind of like that too, where she like, I wouldn't say tacky, but she loves like a little like knick-knack with a face on it. Do you know, all of our soap dispensers in my house, like my parents' house, are these little, she got them all from the same artist, but they're these little like clay soap dispensers with little faces, and then they have little feet. They have little feet. I love it. And they have little flip-flops on the little feet. How cute. And then like all of our windowsills and everything are just like little tchotchkes. And I know some people think that is like so, that is so not it. Like knick-knack houses are not. It's like messy and cluttered. I love it. That's how I grew up. I love little guys. Especially when you're a kid, it's like so whimsical. Whimsical is a great word for Lenzo, actually. She is full of whimsy. And she crafts which is why I need to start crafting. She often will like buy a little trinket and then turn it into something else. Love. She has a whole series. This makes me like literally jizz my pants. Lenzo has a whole series on TikTok where she makes things from SpongeBob. Oh, now we're speaking my language. This girl will like she went to a thrift store and found like a little figurine cockroach, and she turned it into the cockroach eating the Krabby Patty at the little table in SpongeBob. And it just sits like on a little shelf in her room. Oh, how lovely. She has the Nasty Patty, the Pipsqueak Patty, Patty Pal. I've seen her do Pretty Patties. I've seen her do the Christmas tree from the SpongeBob Christmas episode. She has the chocolate hot air balloon that Patrick comes down in on Valentine's Day. She has everything. She's speaking my language. I think one of my favorites, though, was she made like a jewelry dish that looked like a burger with like the Krabby Patty burger with the two pickles tucked in with a piece of cheese. I need that. I love it. I definitely, if I see like a SpongeBob trinket, I'm going to start like investing. Because you know how I feel about my sponge. I've said this before, I think, but I have this weird like Pavlov effect where every single morning when I was a kid before school at like 7 a.m., SpongeBob was on. They had like cartoons on it in the morning. And I would eat my cereal and watch SpongeBob. And now, for some reason, I have this association in my brain, like if I'm eating cereal, SpongeBob needs to be on. So I will go through phases where, like, if I decide, like, oh, I'm going to be a little kooky and I'm going to buy a box of Frosted Flakes because I don't really eat much cereal because it's supposed to be bad for you. But, like, if I go through a phase where I'm like, I'm going to buy Frosted Flakes, you bet your ass that week I'm starting every morning with SpongeBob. I'm watching SpongeBob, a full-grown adult by myself in my home that I pay for. I'm watching SpongeBob because I can. Free will, bitch. And Lenzo channels that for me. And it really is, it's so oddly satisfying. But here's the thing. I want to become a trinket person, right? I want to start collecting trinkets. Or at least collecting something. I want something that now if you see a dandelion crayon and you're like, oh, dandelion crayon girl, right? I want something like that for me. I want something so that if anyone's ever gift shopping for me, it's like, boom, there it is. Give me that. You know? The only thing that I really like have that is kind of in that vein is I have like a fair amount of seashells, and I do like ocean-esque things because I'm such like a shark freak. So I don't know. I like little starfish, little sand dollars. I have like little earrings that are seahorses, like stuff like that. Tide pool core. That is an aesthetic that I absolutely need to start. Holy shit. I got to write this down. Tide pool core. I want like little algae, little slug, little crab. Let me tell you about crabs too. Not the STD. The creature. My father, Jeff Leahy, has a real affinity for like little crabs. He has so many crab knickknacks. Anytime he sees like a crab ornament or like a crab tchotchke, he's got a lot of crab like dishes because he like will serve crab legs on crab themed dishware. All his like butter dishes are little crabs. And my dad, when he built our outdoor kitchen, it's crab themed. It's the crab shack, he calls it. There's so many crab themed things on the wall. The dish towels have crabs on them. The like spoon rests have crabs on them. He's got a like vintage crab trap on the ceiling of the outdoor kitchen, but he had to take it down because birds started building their nests in there. You know how it is. Crab trap bird nest. Sick band name, by the way. But I love it. And I now, I mean, it's true every time I'm out somewhere and I see like a crab. I was just at Fish's Eddy, the dish store. You know, the dish store in Manhattan? It's like kitchenware. And they had little dishes with crabs on them. And immediately I'm like, oh, my dad would love this. I want something that is, I'm summoned for someone, in someone's mind. Tide pool core. Maybe I will start, mark my words, I'm going to start crafting tide pool-esque things. I want a tide pool trinket shelf. Yeah. I want a tide pool trinket shelf. I want little crabs. I want little shells. I want little, maybe like an octopus in there making an appearance. I want like a little starfish, colorful little guy. Oh, this is such a great idea. I gotta lock in tide pool core. And I gotta make berry manatee. Maybe I'll give it to my mom for her birthday or something. I think she'd like that. If anyone has a small sequin jacket that they can lend to me for berry manatee, or maybe I'll keep berry manatee for myself and put him on my tide pool trinket shelf. Now I'm cooking with oil. Okay, this week I'm going to go to Michael's or Joann's or something, and I'm going to lock in. Actually, no. Scratch that. This week I'm going to go to a flea market. Oh, no, I leave on Wednesday. Okay. Okay. Lock in. I am going in the next 2 weeks. I am going to start hitting some thrift stores. In mind, I'm going to have tide pool core. That is such a good idea. Okay. I'm excited now. Tide pool core. Isn't that fun? And then I'm going to invest in like fucking clay and paint and maybe some Mod Podge because I'm feeling whimsical and quirky. Thank you, Lenzo, for the inspiration. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Tide pool core. I'm so glad I came up with that. I'm going to get that tattooed.